Hi, my name is Artem. In the next few minutes I will show you a simple but, in my opinion, powerful example of what web scraping can do for investment analysis. Zillow, pretty famous company, as you can see, it had quite a run over the last year, outperformed both S&P and Trulia pretty dramatically. If we take a look at the 10Q of Zillow, we'll see that as much as 70% of their revenue comes from what they call real estate segments, which is Zillow selling subscriptions to real estate brokers and agents for letting those agents to list their properties online and getting bumped up the list whenever a user looks at the website. Not only is this the biggest segment, it's the fastest growing one as well. It grew up 77% quarter over quarter, far outpacing other segments. With this in mind, wouldn't it be cool to know ahead of company earnings what happened with those paid subscriber figures? If we take a look at the Zillow's website, it has a section called Find a Pro that lists all the agents. However, the way to do that does not lend itself to easy analysis, because first off, there's tremendous amount of agents, almost 700,000, and only 25 pages, meaning far from all agents are listed. Second thing is agents are split between the areas that they serve. For example, this one here is United States, New York State, Albany metropolitan area, and then Center Square neighborhood. That's the level that actually shows the agents that serve exhaustively. So whenever you see this page, you know that you see all the agents. And by the way, not all the agents are paid ones, only those that have Premier Agent badge by their name. And the bottom line is not easy to find out how many paid subscribers Zillow has just by looking at the website. So what I did is I made a crawler script that scans Zillow website periodically and builds a table of all the Premier agents listed at any given time. It does that once per week. And what it does at the end, it builds a table. Now what a user can do is go to a website, see when the most recent update happened, then click this button and see two files ready for download. File number one is agent count. Click that. What it shows is just the agent count as of each week that scanning happened, split by state, just in case somebody wants to see that state statistics. So we got Premier agents, which is Zillow name for paid ones, then all agents, which is Premier plus free ones, and then Premier as percentage of total. And we got those three columns for each week that the scanning took place. And so far we only have 3 weeks worth of data. So that's agent count. And second file you can look at is retention. The retention one tracks just that, retention. And if we look at that, first three columns are the same as they are in agent count. The number of Premier agents, number of all agents, share of Premier agents. Now next column is average subscription length. What it is how many times any given agent showed up in scanning results, divided by number of weeks that the scanning happened. So if an agent showed up 3 times over 3 weeks, it's going to be 1, which is the case in American Samoa and Guam with their 1 Premier agent. Obviously in bigger states with bigger numbers of agents, those numbers are smaller, but as you can see they differ, and that could lead to some good insights as to the retention rate. And second column is percentage of subscribers who canceled their subscription last week. It's just that if 10 agents started last week and this week we only found 9 of them, without any regard to the new agents. In this case, this column will have 10%, 0.1. Again, since there are hundreds or thousands of agents in any given state, it's all been aggregated and averaged out, and the numbers are anywhere between 0 where agents didn't cancel at all, and something like 5% for Illinois. So these are the two retention metrics that I came up with myself, purely for illustration purposes. As we get more data, we'll be tracking cancellation over a month, over 3 months, over 6 months, over a year, if you would. But for those users who are more inclined to do so, we could offer something else, which is we can actually share the SQL database with them, and this way they can use direct access to the SQL database and use it for their own pivot tables or even Power Pivot tables. I did the same thing here using the access to the SQL database directly. I just replicated the same agent count table. I just sorted it by agent count in descending order. I mean, same thing, but you can add a lot of features if you want. Second thing, and I think that's what shows the real power of access to database as opposed to just downloading it, is, remember I said about the retention statistics, the percentage of agents who canceled last week. So it only has one table, one column for most recent week. What you can do with direct access to MySQL database is you can track that metric week over week. So here we have comparison of weekly cancellations for the week that just ended, because it's May 18th right now, and the week that ended on May 10th. So that's pretty powerful stuff. And again, once we get more data, it can be more and more powerful for data analysis. And that's what you can do when you have direct access to the MySQL database. And again, it's up to the client. If a client would like reports that we produce, that's fine. If they want to play with it, data themselves, that's fine as well. It's all negotiable and customizable. That's pretty much it. All I wanted to do is to share what web scraping can do. Again, I think it's pretty powerful. And some points just to make it clear. If this can be seen on a web page, it can be scraped. Any data can be scraped, except for if something is drawn as opposed to written by symbols. For example, this advertise on Zillow today, I think that's picture. You cannot scrape that, at least not with me yet. But all the text data that you can copy paste, or at least even select, you can scrape that. Second point, it doesn't take very long. This Zillow thing took me about 5 days probably to build, and that's only because that was my very first website I ever built in my life. That was just for computer science final project. So right now, once the infrastructure is built and I know how to do it, it can be much faster. Third point is the real power of what we do is not just scrape once, but we maintain the database for the client. And the client doesn't need any in-house infrastructure to do this. So we take care of database management, administration. All that the client does is just goes to the website and either downloads the reports that we make, or if they want to, they can link up to the MySQL database themselves and build the reports that they want. Again, it's totally up to the client. In all fairness, for full disclosure, the Zillow was not my idea. I built it for somebody who I think invests in Zillow or thinking about it, but that was just done to make a point and to explore what web scraping can do. And I saw for myself it's a very powerful thing. So bottom line is, if you think you have a project like this that could benefit from web scraping, or you could use some help getting extra insights about a company, please let me know. Here's my email here. We can work something out. It's totally customizable and absolutely client comes first. And second point, I really appreciate you taking time to watch this. If you could take literally 2 more minutes and fill in a very brief 3-question survey at this link, that would be hugely helpful for me. Once again, thank you very much for your time, taking time to watch this, and have a great day.